Greetings all, this is Will Man in Toledo, Ohio. How is everybody doing? It has been some time. I am back up and running, and no sooner than later with this wonderful coronavirus of 2020. It's March 16th, 2020, and I'm here in my kitchen, and we're working on a little project here. Since all the places are closed down tomorrow, we're going to go ahead and just do a St. Patty's Day corned beef here in the home. And making a delicious Reuben sandwiches. I went ahead and purchased a lovely corned beef brisket from the local market, the Whole Foods market actually. And I went ahead and I put a little seasonings, a little rubbed on there. And now we're working on a brine, a special brine this season, an Earnest Brew Crunchy Hippie brine. This is a nice brown ale designed by a local company here in Toledo. See if we can, well, I'll read it off. Brewed with oats, wheat, brown sugar, raisins, honey, sunflower, chia, hemp seed, and cherries. The beer drinks like a liquid granola bar. Crunchy hippie pairs with comfort foods like nachos, tater tots, tacos, mac and cheese. So that's their little spiel, and we're going to go ahead and brine a brisket with it. So in a little bowl here, you chop up some onions, you chop up some garlic, you add a little brown sugar. And we're actually going to add a little bit of coarse salt. Now in some recipes they add a little bit of a pickling spice and all this other stuff, but we're doing it simple. We're doing it this way. So now there's a couple of different ways to cook them. You could smoke them, you could put them in bags, you can boil them, you could throw them on the whatever, but the way I'm doing it today, let's get this big boy out here, is we're just going to go ahead and put it in this nice little crock pot thing. This is one of those real nice pots. Just ripped off the rub there. That's okay. We'll just grab some out of this in the corner here and implement that back onto there. Now, the fun part. I picked up a 6-pack because I wasn't sure how this was going to go. You don't want to pour it directly onto the beer. Directly onto the meat. Well, that was just one can. Most recipes on the internet call for 2 cans. The rule of thumb is you want to cover your meat totally. Submerge it in the liquid. So it looks like we might need more than 2 cans for this one. Now I picked up an extra little body from my local Whole Foods. Liquid Death Mountain Water. Instead of using good old Toledo City water for this recipe, we're cracking open a good old mountain water. And we're going to add the water to the brine. Now we just got this in at Whole Foods Market. This company has based and designed their motto on eliminating plastic from the ocean, from the environment, from our drinking consumption water. Liquid Death Mountain Water. I would pick a can up and check it out. It's not too bad. So you got 2 cans of Crunchy Hippie, 1 can of Liquid Death. Just because Irishman, we're going to do it a little bit more hippie. Okay, now you can see it's totally submerged. All that sugar, or all that salt stuck to the bottom of the pot here. Okay. So I actually think I'm going to add just a smidge more brown sugar here into this pot. Oh. Folks, don't get drunk before you cook. Not a good method. Okay, so yeah, there it is. Now, what we're going to do is you're going to turn your dual on, because it's a big pot, and we're going to go to a boil. We're going to take this all to a little boil here, just so we can get all the evaporation going here. Big old chunks. You want everything submerged. Well, that's the first time I've done a cooked brine. Usually you brine and you marinate with that. Now, as this is heating up, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add more of the rub. This is a coffee rub that I purchased also at Whole Foods Market. We're just going to go ahead and add a little bit more. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of the seasonings that I used to make the initial rub. And that's going to be a few things like a little bit of celery salt, I recommend using a tripod for these home videos. A little bit of garlic powder, and a little bit of garlic salt. And we're also going to add more salt, of course. And then I think it was a smidge of sage, because you don't want to overpower it. And yep, I think that was it. Oh, black pepper. Oh. Little bit of black pepper. Now, let's go ahead and mix this all up. Let it start stewing. As you see there, you're just going to let it come up to a boil now. Let that crunchy hippie do its thing. And keep the beef totally submerged. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to put the lid on. You just put the lid on like this, and then put it in the oven. I'm doing a special recipe call for, I'm going to be running it. I worked out my recipe. It's 4 hours and 20 minutes at 275 in the oven. And I mean, you know, after that you can take it out and you go ahead. You got to make sure you get one of these bad boys. And if you don't know, on the back right here will tell you the gauge for what temperatures you need to accommodate for safe eating. Anything over 145 will be okay, but you definitely want to make sure your brisket is tender. Falls apart. So I will leave you there. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna boil this a little bit longer. Then I'm gonna broil. Alright, so you got pre-temp. Now the reason we're doing this pre-boil is to boil off all the carbonation, because you don't want that exploding in your oven. Just wouldn't be good. Remember, keep that beef underneath the ground there, underneath the liquid. While I have you here, we're going to go ahead and turn this into Reubens tomorrow. And I found this on the shelf at Whole Foods. It's a sauerkraut in a squeeze bottle. It's made with craft beer mustard. No sugar added. We're going to give it a try. Doesn't look terrible. It's got craft beer mustard in it. So the sauerkraut itself is just sauerkraut, and then the mustard that they use in the mix has got some kind of, it says Belgian ale. Belgian cream ale, I think is what it is. So this is definitely going to be a delicious, very delicious sandwich here when we're all said and done with it. Now a lot of people do brines for about a week. They let it sit in the fridge for about a week, and I'm just doing a quick recipe here today. So we'll see how it turns out. I'll let you guys know with the final updated video. Much love and peace be with you, and happy St. Patty's Day. Sorry the world's coming to an end.